If I plan to motor west, travel my way, that's the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66.
We are excited today to be able to be at Streets of St. Charles, which is, 1520 South 5th Street. And we're going to kind of talk about a little history of what used to be here. I mean, when you look at this grand scale of stores and everything that is restaurants, and to know what used to be here, it's pretty awesome. So anyway, welcome to the show, In Your City Show. I'm Kelley Lamb, let's see, it would be hashtag hyphen Montgomery.
I'm Gordon Lamb hyphen Montgomery.
People do like to say that. It is not Lamb. He is Montgomery.
I used to get mail. Gordon Lamb. Sorry, what?
And we're excited. Olivino Tasting Bar is hosting the show, so we're inside their store right now. And so if it rains, it doesn't matter. We've got a great backdrop around us, and actually had a few cocktails that we're displaying in the front that they showed us what they make from their balsamic and their olive oils. And then we tasted a brownie, which is incredible, that's infused with lemon, olive oil, and raspberry balsamic. So
incredible. We'll
be talking to the owner, Debrah, and she'll be letting you in on some secrets about that. Our show is brought to you by St. Charles County City Lifestyle, along with Chesterfield and Clayton City Lifestyle.
Do the Vanna White thing.
Yes. We mail it out every single month to, 15 zip codes, I believe, that we're up to that we mail
Almost
out to.
40,000 homes.
Along with select businesses that receive it every single month. And, it's what makes us unique is that our magazine is all about good stuff, things that are happening in your city. If you go to citylifestyle.com, you will be able to see our national digital platform, and I guess you shouldn't say national, because anywhere you have internet, you can see citylifestyle.com. If you want to particularly go to each magazine, of course, you can forward, / there we go, St. Charles County or Chesterfield or Clayton, and be able to see all of the current issues, and along with our latest, or any of the issues along with our current issue. I think this is probably going to be our problem tonight.
Kelley's had a long day today. So her mom's finally moving out of her house of 50 years. She's been living in her house for 50 years.
So I was in her city all day and every day getting her ready to move, because they're moving to a new city.
Yep, straight up Route 66 to another place.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work when you're doing that. But of course, here we are. We're in St. Charles. We're at Streets of St. Charles, and it's kind of fun when you're looking at the history and that about it. The Missouri River, of course. St. Charles, Missouri. It's northwestern suburb of St. Louis. Is that, I guess, what you'd say where we are? We're along the Missouri River. But then when you say all of that other stuff, northwestern suburb of St. Louis. Did that make sense?
A little bit.
Okay, all right.
Really
Just want to make
about
sure.
it.
No, you didn't think about it?
Because I'm so good with direction, I already know where I'm going. So it's always east, west.
But someone else that might be listening, Missouri, of
So-
course, is Midwest.
Southwest, actually, wouldn't it be?
When Lee is listening from Australia,
where
she
you're
needs to
standing.
know.
Yeah.
She needs to understand this, where we're at. You can subscribe to our show. You can go to the YouTube channel in your city. Also, all of our shows are put up onto all of the podcast sites, iHeartRadio, Google, Spotify, all of those fun podcast sites. We're just kind of learning about it ourselves. There's so much out there. It's a whole new world with the podcast. So you can find it on your favorite podcast. And then, of course, Clip Shack Production, which is amazing with Tim Glover. He does
Tim's
amazing. So he does a full edited version, and that's what we'll be able to put onto the YouTube sites and share around that shares video. And then, of course, Maddie's right there, Maddie Mannheimer. She is an incredible photographer. She takes all the great photos that you'll be able to see later that we'll share within the video as well as on the social media sites. And I do a lot of hand movements, a lot. They're going on I feel like I'm an orchestrator or something like that of a show. All right, so let's talk, Gordon.
Let's talk. What used to be here? What did used to be here, Kelley?
Oh my gosh, Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark. Did you go there as a kid?
Oh, heck yeah. I'm pretty sure I went to a prom, maybe like a dinner, prom. And
I was talking like little kid.
Yeah, but as I got older, I remember going there for prom as well, and the drinks. And I think they're known for their soup. Weren't they known for their clam chowder?
Clam chowder, but I have a clam chowder secret for you.
Okay.
For Noah's Ark. Do you realize what it was actually made with? Campbell's potato soup.
Well, that kind of ruined everything right now. I mean, literally, it says, where's my notes here about the Noah's Ark? So the Noah's Ark was July 15th, was the day that it opened in 1967. Noah's Ark Restaurant in St. Charles opened. David Flavin originally planned a restaurant with a steamship. And then instead, before deciding on doing that, he made it into a biblical, see, I told you it's going to be rough, a biblical
It's easy
place.
for you to say.
Yeah, so he decided on the Ark. And in 1979, the restaurant began hosting dinner theaters, the Animal Kingdom, and he wanted to actually have live animals. And of course, the city told him he couldn't have that for many reasons. And he wanted animals like on top of the place. So that's when all of a sudden, I guess the Ark, he's like, well, okay, if I can have real animals, I'll have fake animals and we'll just turn it into the Ark. And then that's what he did there. But unfortunately, they had a fire. Do you remember reading about that?
I don't remember the fire. I remember it turning into something else.
Yeah, the Animal Kingdom actually burnt and had considerable damage. So the cage reopened, but it was unusable for a long time.
Now they still had him encased in glass on the end of the boat because it was still there when Captain Tony turned into Captain Tony's.
That's true.
They were still there, and I think they had them. So they had a walkway that went from the Ark, and it was a walkway that was enclosed all the way to the hotel.
Okay.
And if I remember right, they had those enclosed all the way down the walkway, and I think that's what may have burnt up is some of that stuff and some of the stuff that was in the hotel. But remember the little plastic giraffes you used to get would be on your glass?
See, your memory and my memory are not quite the same. I mean, the things that you remember like blow me away, and I'm just remembering like just a few little things. And I remember the animals because they're now over in Newtown subdivision displayed by the park.
That, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
They don't know that that's
The giraffe,
animals
the
from-
elephants, they are all over in Newtown.
What was the name of the bar at the top of the Ark?
I told you, your memory and my memory
I
are
bel-
two different things going on. So
See if I'm
I
right.
wouldn't have been old enough to be in the bar.
I think it was the Crow's Nest. Wasn't it the Crow's Nest? I think it might have been called.
We always look out for help, don't
Well,
we?
she's nodding a lot,
We
so
need
I
them
know
to have
she's
those.
agreeing with me when I say this.
We need to have those cards at the hold up to help us. We're always looking at Tim like helping. He's busy doing stuff,
Where's
but we're
the cue
like
cards,
praying all the
Tim?
time
Yeah.
with him helping us. So you were right. You mentioned about Captain Tony's, and that was a dance club until 2000, and then that building was demolished in 2007 because we all know what's going on right now here with Streets of St. Charles. But they still talk about the clam chowder. So anybody listening right now is going to know it was nothing but a can. See what marketing can do.
Oh, no.
Turned Campbell's, not to cut down Campbell's, but we all know it's a can in the store, that ended up being the famed soup there at Noah's Ark. So now you have this place that you can work, you can live, you can play, you can eat, shop. You can do everything in one location, which is such a new way of living. I mean, we're going to get to talk more about that. We'll let Alyssa expound on that right there. But we recently had an interview. He wasn't able to make it. And what we love and we hope to do is when we're in the city, we'll actually invite the mayor to come in and be able to speak a little bit about the city that we're in. So Mayor Dan Borgmeyer was not able to be here with us because he had a previous engagement that he is at right now, I would imagine. So we sat down with him over at City Hall and had a great conversation with him. So we're going to add that recording and that interview that we had with him to the podcast and be able to share
To the
that as
YouTube
well.
channel,
Yeah, and we
yes.
asked him some questions, about what was his passion about St. Charles? What in the world would make somebody who's retired and his son took over his business to want to be the mayor of a city? That is a great task to take on, especially when there's so many things happening. And the passion that came out of him while talking with him was huge.
Well, he's a salesman, and he's a great salesman
Oh
for
my
the city of
gosh.
St. Charles.
Wish he'd work for us.
Absolutely. And one of the greatest things that I think that he really prides himself in is the fact that St. Charles is a safe place to live.
Yes.
He kept mentioning that and kept talking about how, you know what, out of all the places here in St. Louis, St. Charles is one of the safest places to live.
Right. And he gave a lot of examples. He talked about all the new things that are going on and what's going to be going on right behind us back here along the river. And it was cool to hear that and to hear how excited he is about everything that's going on. And that's what keeps allowing the city to grow. And that's what you have to have behind every city. You need good people. And he talks about that. He's like, it's not all about what I'm doing. It's about the team that we have and people like Debrah who own businesses in St. Charles and the other people that we'll meet today. It's about them that keep allowing the cities to grow and what they bring to it. And then, of course, people like us that go and spend money, that helps a lot too.
And what's really great, that the vision that the mayor and all of them have, is that it's right here central in the heart of St. Charles, right? Which it's kind of, the streets of St. Charles is the heart of St. Charles pretty much now. But now we're going towards Frenchtown. Now we're going towards what we call, the south of it, the south and the north. And
Right.
Frenchtown is like, how many times did you drive through there? And before this year, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, go, when are they going to do something with Frenchtown? When are they going to start making it part of Main Street, St.
Right.
Charles, and kind of let it flow in? And that's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's cool. So did you read a little history about St. Charles? You don't realize that, was it 1812 that the proclamation was issued by Governor William Clark? 1812.
No.
Think of the growth and the changes.
Yeah, I wasn't the big history. You know what's crazy?
Well,
But when I grew
I'm
up,
not the
I
biggest
wasn't
history
big about
person either. I just read.
Yeah, but as I get older, history is important to me. When I'm younger, it's like,
I don't think anything's important to you when you're young, is it? Except you, rock and roll, and
What are we doing?
sports.
Where are we going? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what time do we have to be home? That's all we worried about. So some of the St. Charles is known for being the headquarters from some very big companies. I'm sure we drive by Patriot Machine, Our 365, RX System. I haven't really heard of that. It is the client services and home to the regional offices of Coca-Cola. We all know that. Cisco and American Freightways. Those are big companies that St. Charles is known for, which bring lots of jobs and revenue to the city. Of course, St. Charles is the oldest city on the Missouri River. And what were you talking about today when we were coming about St. Charles?
I think I read that it was the 5th largest city in Missouri.
We're looking for head nods over there.
Yeah, I think that's.
Did we do our history correct?
And it was the first state. St. Charles was the first state capital.
Yeah, it was the first seat of government until the permanent capital in Jeff City was established. And that's a lot of stuff. I mean, you don't think about it. Who are the people that don't want to drive across the bridge? Look what they're missing out on. They think that bridge is like a closed gate and you got to pay to come over.
It used to be that way. I remember we
it's not anymore.
Clock Tower Apartments, which is like across the street from us. Well, it was called Clock Tower then when I moved in there, and there was nothing around. There was nothing. Noah's Ark, of course, was there, but it was just nothing around there. And then the development, it's just, and then people always thought, just like your mom, like your
My mom thought I was like
moving to another country.
Chuck wagons were over here, and I was going to be fighting Indians or something. I mean, it's like no concept of coming across the bridge. And there weren't that many. Shoot, it was 34 years ago when I moved over here. So there were only like a few entrances that you could go in. So you were in some traffic in the beginning, but now there's no traffic coming over here whatsoever. There's so many ways to get here.
And what's so crazy too is that when we moved in our house, so we moved out of Clock Tower, we moved over on Spencer Road.
Okay.
You always think about, when you're the history and the past people, you go, wow, nobody even knows they existed anymore. My house doesn't exist. I moved in. They tore it down to widen Spencer Road because I was like right on Spencer Road. Across from me was nothing but farmland. Then they built the subdivision, and there was this one old historical house that was there that they finally tore down.
An historical? Did they tear it down or did they move it to a new location?
No, they tore it down.
Wow.
And they're building, small houses right there. But yeah, I'm one of those people. Nobody's ever going to know that my house existed.
You never existed. It's almost like you're just a farce here right now.
There's a park bench there now.
Oh, that's nice. You should have put your name on it. You were here. Forrest Gump would sit on it.
Mom always said.
What do you say?
Mom always said life is like a box of chocolates. You open them up, you never know what you're going to get.
It's kind of like me. So speaking of tear down, because of course the property that we're sitting on right here had a historical monument that's been torn down to now to be Streets of St. Charles. So let's invite Alyssa Houska to the show. She's the marketing director of Streets of St. Charles, and she knows all about what's going on here and all the fun to be had. You really do have a lot going on. Your job is quite busy with everything because you come up with all kinds of wonderful things to bring people to the property so that they shop and dine and see wonderful places like Olivino Tasting Bar. So tell us a little bit about Streets of St. Charles for people that aren't in the city or haven't been here before. What's going on at Streets of St. Charles? What it's about?
Yeah, so we're a mixed-use development, so kind of like you said earlier, you can shop, dine, you can live here, we have offices here, we have entertainment, so we have all kinds of things to do. So yeah, and we have events over the summer season, and we have a bunch of wonderful places to shop.
There she is. We have you now.
Oh, you have me now?
I was like, why
You
aren't I
sounded
hearing
like
her?
we had you in the closet for a minute.
Oh, I was
But
like,
you're out.
should I start over?
You're out now.
We're good.
So, yeah, I'll kind of go through, some events we have coming up.
Yeah.
So our Beale Street concert series is starting in May.
I'm ready for
May
that.
11th.
That is so
That's
fun.
always so
We've
much
done
fun.
that before. We've brought the chairs up, and Tim, I think you've been here before too, haven't we? Ran into you, I think, here. And it is, everybody just gets together. It's like everyone knows everybody. It's very comfortable.
Yeah, I think, we're starting the season off with Super Jam, but I think a lot of people just keep coming back for the atmosphere. They might know what band's playing, but regardless of what band's playing, they like to come and hang out. I kind of say it's like a big happy hour because it's on a Wednesday evening. And I've started to recognize people because they've been coming every year to the concert series. So yeah, that's May through October. It's the second Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
We also have our Beale Street Market starting in May, and that will be May 4th is the first one.
Okay.
And that's from 4 to 8. And
What do you
that's
expect to find there?
the art? It's like an art and farmers market. So handmade and hand-grown items. There's jewelry, there's vegetables, there's like fresh eggs.
Go buy a piece of jewelry, get my eggs, and get some fruit.
Yeah,
I like
plants. There's like plants, all kinds of different things. We have, a steady group of vendors that come each market, but then we kind of have some new ones here and there throughout the season.
Sure,
So
fun.
Yeah.
And when is that again?
The first one will be May 4th.
On what day a week do you?
Oh, sorry, it's the first Wednesdays.
First Wednesdays.
And also May through October.
Okay, so Wednesday's kind of your big night for doing things. So
Yeah, we
you
kind of keep it on Wednesdays.
All right.
Yeah. So then we also have yoga is our third main kind of summer season event. That's the second Saturday of every month.
So downward dog and all that's going right outside?
Right outside. So we block off the street like we do for other events. Yoga 6, we're in partnership with Yoga 6, which is down the street here. For that event, they have one of their instructors come over and do like a 1 hour, I think they call it easy flow session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. There's nothing easy flow about yoga, for me especially.
Oh my gosh.
I say it all the time. I'm the 10 man. I'm the 10 man when I'm doing yoga.
I'm laughing so hard because he makes this god-awful sound, and so I thought he hurt himself. I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, are you okay? He goes, I'm just stretching. I'm like, oh my gosh, poor thing. I'm going to carry you out. But I love yoga. I think being outside would be gorgeous to be able to do that.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's 8 to 9 in the morning.
Is there a fee for that?
It's a $5 fee, but all the fees go to local charities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
so-
do you have those lined up? Do you know what your first one is?
We don't
or-
have them lined up
Okay.
quite yet, but we'll be announcing them at every event,
Sure.
which charity will be going to.
Well,
so.
we'll enjoy sharing that.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So yoga, concerts, market.
Yeah, those are like the main events coming up, more recent. And then also I kind of want to talk about some new openings we have
love that.
coming
Yes.
up here
Okay.
as far as businesses. So Hotbox Cookies just opened.
Yes.
Already experienced.
Thank you very
hot
much.
box
Have
cookies.
you?
Gordon brought a dozen. I'm pretty sure, and he ate 11 of them. I'm pretty sure. Every time I'd walk by the box, I look at him like, someone's
That's
been
not
in it
true.
again. Yes, it is true.
So here's Kelley. Here's Kelley with donuts and cookies. It's like, I'll take a little bite of this one. I'll take a little bite of this one.
And then he
I'll take a little bite
finishes
of
it.
this
So
one.
she never ate a whole one then?
No.
No.
Well, technically, no.
thought she
by
was
eating
done.
the bites. It makes you feel like you didn't eat a whole
I know,
cookie
that's
if you
what I'm
just
saying,
take
yeah.
bites of all the cookies.
I totally agree.
And he brought a box over to our friend's house too. And I
did.
think you were eating theirs. Yeah, he had a
I
lot of
thought
cookies.
this is great. I got to eat their cookies and mine.
No, they're delicious.
They are.
So
and they
that's
just came out. They were warm. And
right. Yeah, they're the best when they're
We
warm
had
like
announced
that. Yeah.
them in the magazine. We had put them in there, but they're finally open.
Finally open. They had some supply chain issues, or they would open much sooner. But so they're
Nothing
right around the
opens on
corner from Bar Louie, kind of right across from Narwhal's. Is where their location's at. So everyone will need to check that out. We also have another dessert kind of oriented place opening, Buzzed Bull Creamery.
Yes, I think we're going to maybe meet.
Yes, you'll meet the owner, Ellen,
yes.
later on. So she'll tell you a whole lot more about the
Sure, of
concept.
course.
But basically, it's ice cream. It's made with, oh gosh, what am I trying to
Maybe
say?
we should have her explain it.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
made with but it's good.
It's escaping me. But anyways, it's made right in front of you,
Okay.
real experiential. It's really cool. And then it's called Buzzed Bowl because you can add a buzz if you would like. So they suggest alcohol that they can mix in with your ice cream.
Buzz makes everything fun.
Right. It's liquid nitrogen. That's
Yes.
what I was going to say.
Liquid nitrogen.
Made with liquid nitrogen
So
right
it
in front of you.
smokes then or something?
Yeah,
or?
it's like smokes and it starts as the liquid form and then it becomes like ice cream. They can add whatever to it, and then you get it. So
Picture looks great.
yeah, it's we're really excited. Yeah, she'll be opening sometime next month. Maybe she'll have an exclusive date for you. I'm not sure. But then another thing that's really exciting is Mission Taco Joint, which if you're in the St. Louis area, you've probably heard of them. There's 6
been there?
locations or something. So we have one here at Streets of St. Charles, and they have decided to expand.
Okay.
They're going to have a new event space and a new retro arcade space.
Fun.
So
We
we're
like
really
those.
We like the
excited.
retro arcade stuff.
Yeah, we're excited because it's another kind of form of entertainment to add to
Would you
Streets of St. Charles.
I've never done
Kelly's
a radio
family
show that
never
my
calls
mom
her until she's on air.
always. There's my mom.
I get calls 100 times a day from my family, so anyway.
You get it.
Yeah, I get
It's
it.
okay.
Yeah.
So you've got lots of new openings going on, and one of the things we were talking about earlier, the exciting part of Streets of St. Charles is literally you could live here.
Right.
Well, you can live here. You could work here, and then there's all the activities and things going on. There's so much to offer. That's kind of a new exciting thing that a lot of cities are bringing to the people, is the ability to be able to live, work, and play all in one place.
Right.
Is that the right words that you all use?
Yeah, we say live, work, shop, dine.
Okay.
But yes, I mean it's the same sort of
Yeah.
idea. And yeah, a lot of people are saying it's kind of the future of retail is heading this way, where people can come and experience everything kind of in one location, not have to go different places. We say the hotels are always really packed here, and we think it's because you don't have to have a car. Even if you want to go eat at a restaurant,
Right.
you can just walk out of your hotel. You can pick a restaurant. You can go shopping. You could see a movie. You could see, go see a show in the comedy club.
Yeah.
So,
And then do you ever think maybe there might be a market? I know you have your vintage market days, but actually a market where you can actually shop for those items that you might need, for every day. That's probably the one thing is
Yeah.
a grocery, right?
it's always something we've explored.
You never have to leave.
Yeah, we've explored anyone you can possibly think of grocery-wise. We have reached out to, we have talked to over the years, and now we're kind of at the point where we're almost out of space.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We have just like a couple more open spaces to lease out, so we're getting almost to the full capacity.
Now, with the area that's going behind it, I don't want to talk about anything that you may not have the full knowledge, so excuse me if I am. Is that going to be affiliated with Streets of St. Charles, what's going in the back area near the river, or is that a whole new development? And I know the mayor was talking about that, and we actually will have a story in our upcoming June issue. So is that in itself its own
Yeah, it's going to be
developer?
its own development,
Okay.
a different developer.
Okay.
It's going to be called River Point.
That's it?
Yeah, it'll be very similar. It'll be a mixed-use type of project as well.
Which is perfect. I mean, the
it is
more the better.
perfect.
That's just more the reason for people to come in and enjoy this
Right.
part of the city. So it's
Right.
fantastic.
And we've always worked like really closely and really well with the city, and it'll be a great complement, and not competition, but a great
Yeah.
complement to Streets
Oh
of
my
St. Charles.
gosh.
So we're all really excited about that.
You've done a phenomenal phenomenal job. Patty's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Anise, you're just such a great team in what you
Thank you.
bring here, and we love Streets of St. Charles. We're here a lot.
I believe it.
Yes,
We have our favorites and shop here. I mean, there's so much. We've actually, thought about taking a tour and seeing what the apartments are like and just, really taking it all in. So Alyssa Houska, she's the marketing director for Streets of St. Charles. If you need to know more, how can they find out more about Streets of St. Charles here in St. Charles City?
Yeah, so you can go to streetsofstcharles.com, which has our event calendar. You can also find us on Facebook at Streets of St. Charles and on Instagram at Streets of St. Charles.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much for spending some time
Thank
and
you.
putting all this together so that we could be here and be able to show off Streets of St. Charles and the
Thank
city of
you.
St. Charles as well.
Yeah, thank you for being here at
Yeah,
Streets.
awesome. Love it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, next, we're actually going to talk to the owner of Olivino Tasting Bar, who is the host of our In Your City show today here at Streets of St. Charles. So come on over, Debrah. Just switch those seats. And if you want, you can. You don't have to. Sometimes we're able to hear and know if we're on or off, but you're welcome to put them on or not put them on. I didn't even mention it to poor
We sound
Alyssa.
more- yeah, we
No
sound
wonder
much
Alyssa
more,
couldn't
but-
tell she was in a closet. We didn't have the headphones
Yeah,
on
she
her.
can hear.
Oh, you
She
sound
would have been
crisp.
like, hey, wait, I
Yeah.
don't hear his thing. So thank you so much. We really had fun. So when we were setting up the show, which is always so cool, seeing Tim setting up his equipment and Maddie is taking photos, and it's just kind of exciting knowing that we're getting started. But you also did some taste testing with us and showed us how you could make drinks and that out of your different products that you have. And I learned so much sitting there. I mean, sometimes don't you feel like here we are, we're out and about, and we find out these things that at our age we didn't even know.
No, I know. I mean, it was great. I can't wait for you to describe all the things you were describing to us and about the drinks. So you can look right in front of us and you see like these drinks that are made. What's crazy about it is they're made with olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and they are amazing. They are so good. They're tasty. They're mild and smooth.
Yeah, it
They're
doesn't
not,
burn your throat or
No.
have that aftertaste. And to find out that they're healthy
And the health
makes it
benefits,
even better.
yes.
Depends on how much booze you have.
So one of my questions when we were talking, which you don't think about it. So you kind of mixed Olivino, is what you're telling us. Vino, olive oil, but. And all of a sudden it made me kind of this light go off. When we talk about wine, we know that there's vineyards and we know they go out and we know that the wines are made according to the different grapes. And I've just kind of been learning about that. You didn't realize that a Malbec is the reason why it's a Malbec. It's a grape. I'm just like, oh, it's a great name. But, it depends on, what country and where it comes from.
And she felt she was so cool saying it.
Yeah.
I'm a Malbec.
Oh, it's a great. So, obviously, olives grow on a tree.
Yes.
So I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, you have all of these different olive oils, all different types of flavors. You talked about fused and infused, which I want to make sure other people understand. But it's not like there's olive trees back there. And so first of all, tell us about how you have all these different olive oils and where these olive trees, how you do this, the difference between fused and infused we talked about, and the health benefits, the difference between this olive oil and what you find in a store.
Absolutely. So you are correct. There are many, many types of olives, just like there are grapes. They are grown in olive groves around the world, in the United States, in California, in Italy, in Tunisia, in South Africa, and we source from around the world in the Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere growing seasons, and we always source the freshest olive oils because olive oil is a fruit juice. It'll go bad if it sits on,
It can.
Yeah.
Wow, what a smell if you open up one, and especially if I've noticed it's happened when I bought a really, tried to save money and buy a cheap one or something.
Yeah.
Wow, that can ruin your whole meal.
That's the smell of rancidity. And unfortunately, a lot of Americans have adjusted to rancidity because what you buy in the grocery store a lot of times, now that's not saying you can't find a good olive oil in the grocery store. You can if you know what you're looking for. If you don't know what you're looking for, and if you're just going on price, you're probably not going to get a true 100% olive oil. Because a lot of times what happens is they pour it all into a big tanker, different types. So as you asked about different types of olives. So we have ultra premium olive oils, which is what we call them, and they have a lot of flavor, but they don't have any infused flavor or any fused flavoring in them. what you taste is what the olive tastes like after it's been crushed.
Okay.
So there's Arbesana, Arbequina, Chiquitita. I could go on with different types of names of olives, just like
I could
grapes.
never run this business. I couldn't remember all those names.
It's kind of like wine; you'll remember it over time.
I drink it and I still don't remember it, so it's not true.
Yeah. But anyway, so yes, olive oil, is a fresh fruit, and so therefore it has to be treated as such. So a fused olive oil is quite interesting. It's basically the marriage of an herb let's take rosemary for example. So at the Grove, when they crush those olives, they need to have fresh quality rosemary on hand, and they will fuse those together, marry them together in the crushing process, and that's why that flavor comes through so intensely. And so we have several of the fused olive oils here, and then we have infused. And infused olive oils, the olives are crushed, the oil is created, and then herbs or spices are added, or natural fruits are added to add or to infuse that flavor.
Gosh, who knew who went into that? Do you have a favorite country or a place that you source your amazing olives from?
No, because they can all be,
Depending on the season?
Yes, depending on the season, and olive oils also come in different intensities. So we have mild, we have medium, and we have a robust. So I've kind of profiled people. So if you like a big, bold red, Cabernet, then you're probably going to gravitate more towards a more robust olive oil because your palate, you're looking for some more of that intensity.
Okay.
If you are more of a sweet wine drinker or somebody that doesn't like a lot of that, that punch and oomph, we found that a lot of our customers that like that tend to gravitate more towards a mild olive oil. Now, all of our fused and infused oils, we use primarily Arbesana or Arbequina olives to make those olive oils, and because we're infusing the flavor of, let's say, blood orange or Tuscan herb or garlic or something like that. So we want those flavors to come through. So it really depends on the person and their palate, what they
Right.
enjoy.
And I love that you take the time and have the ability to kind of talk to someone and find out what their favorites are, to know maybe what olive oil or how they cook at home, or to be able to figure out what they should have on their shelves. I've already, I think I want 6 of them. He came in, he's in love with the garlic
The
one,
garlic.
right?
I like the garlic, yeah.
Now that he likes to be the chef. But Heather made some brownies.
Yes.
And it was funny because I'd walked out of the store and I walked back in. I'm like, why does it smell like something's baking in here? And then I find out she was baking. So she made a brownie and she infused it with your lemon olive oil and raspberry balsamic.
Right.
It's incredible. The minute the brownie hit your tongue, this immediate lemon, just kind of, she has a
right
piece
there.
up there and another one. You have to try it. It's incredible.
Yeah, and so that's one thing that we try to help with our customers, is let them know the various applications, cocktails, baking. So our balsamics are balsamics that are aged in Modena, Italy, and then they're infused then with again, natural extracts or essential oils to give them the flavoring. And the balsamics can serve as a syrup, if you will, for a cocktail, or a extract when you're baking. Makes marvelous whipped cream or mousse. If you ever seen one of those little Amazon things that you can make whipped cream by just you put it in the freezer and then you put your heavy whipping cream in and shake it, and then squirts out all this wonderful. You just squirt it in your mouth like that.
I know how to do that, but the first part you talked about, I had no idea.
But if you add, well, you can do it with a mixer too, but I like that one because it's cool. But if you add a little balsamic, so let's say you want a little chocolate mousse, you add a little chocolate balsamic to that, so you get that sweetness, you get that chocolate, but you're not getting all the calories with it. You add raspberry, whatever flavor you want. There's so much fun you can have with those, whether it's making a cake, whether it's making brownies. Pan frying or sautéing fish is wonderful. And my daughter-in-law loves to take the mango balsamic, and she'll get the pan really hot and just sear some mahi-mahi in that mango, and oh my gosh, it's delicious. And it's so easy to do. Another easy
Do you
recipe.
do cooking lessons?
We do have classes.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
We do
There you go.
I'm in.
Yeah, we
or
schedule
he's in,
classes.
because he cooks now.
Yeah.
We do. We just did a sourdough class, right, Heather? My daughter-in-law taught a sourdough class here. Heather just did a baking class. So we like to show people how to use the product, because we want them to use it.
Oh my gosh,
The
yeah.
more
I
they
mean,
use
there's-
it, the more they're going to buy.
That's
all of a
right.
sudden
Because
I'm
they're
like,
going to get excited about all these new recipes and all
Yeah.
these new concoctions. Yeah.
I just brought home some mahi fish,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm like, okay, we need the mango, and that's the not the oil. You
It's the
said
balsamic.
The balsamic
Yeah.
that you. How,
Yeah.
how do you learn or know whether to use balsamic or an olive oil? I mean, baking recipes. Sorry, that didn't. I know baking will ask for. We were talking about the gross oils. You could never want to taste that, but the olive oil you would, and it's much more healthy for you. How do you know to use balsamic for
Well,
cooking?
yeah, I think from a balsamic perspective, anything you would use an extract for, anything that you're looking to add a little bit of sweetness or more flavor to,
Okay.
then you can use the balsamic. A lot of people hear vinegar when they hear
Oh
balsamic.
yeah, I just think of pouring it on my salad.
And they hear vinegar, and in their head it translates to sour.
Yes.
Well, aged balsamic is sweet; it's not sour. So anything that you want to add a little sweetness to and a little bit of flavor to, I tell you what, soon I can't wait for the fresh tomatoes to come out because I love caprese salad.
Yes.
And so I like to take our lavender balsamic and one of the ultra premium olive oils and put that on tomatoes with the basil. Any of the balsamics do it, but I like the lavender. It's very tasty.
So if we were to go onto your website, which is
www.olivinotastingbar.com.
olivinotastingbar.com, you would be able, there's information for us to learn about your events for cooking,
Yep.
learn about, do you put recipes on there as well? I actually have it up. And
Yeah, you click recipes and you can go down and find which recipe you want, whether it's a cocktail, whether it's an appetizer, breakfast, what have you. And then when we do our events, we will also post those out there. We also utilize our Facebook page for those notices as well.
And you're hiring.
We are. we are hiring.
What a great place to work. It smells good, and then
How
you get to
many
learn some
different
things.
flavors of olive oil do you have?
We have about 27 different olive oils, and those vary based on the growing season, and about 36 balsamics.
Wow.
Incredible. And I noticed we were talking about earlier, you have these big silver canisters?
Stainless
steel canisters.
Little
Yeah,
vats,
you'd have to polish them if they're silver, wouldn't you? Stainless steel, and then you have the olive oils under it. So tell me what the big canisters are, and obviously I know the bottles are underneath it.
Yeah, so those are airtight. They're called fustis. That's the Italian term for them. But they're airtight containers where the olive oil is not going to oxidize. So enemies of any oil or fruit juice is light and oxygen. So light can't penetrate those fustis, nor does oxygen get in there because they're airtight. And then we fill the bottles from them because they're cool little storage facilities.
And it's
Yeah.
why the dark bottles, too,
And they are
right?
stored in dark bottles.
Yeah.
Now, the balsamic doesn't have to be in a dark bottle, but it matches, so that's why we do that.
Looks good.
Looks good.
It's all about, positioning, location, all
Right,
those things.
right.
Fantastic. So you can check out the website, Olivino Tasting Bar.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if someone's watching and they live in another city or even another country, we have some people that lives in another country, you do shipping,
Yes.
and would be able to send out to people.
Yes, and we have another location in Washington, Missouri, downtown Washington on Main Street as well.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Debrah Baker-Oliver, which that was Oliver, and you own an olive store. So
Coincidence.
Coincidence. So your passion behind here, what do you want to say that you bring to St. Charles and to Washington, Missouri? What do you bring them with your store, Olivino Tasting Bar?
Well, I think we bring to them a family environment. Our team truly is a family. As I told you, Heather's my bonus daughter, and the rest of the team members as well. But I think we bring healthy options, and we bring ideas and suggestions for people to bring some good taste and enhance their eating, but also from a healthy perspective.
Fantastic. And the two drinks, real quick, you made a margarita.
We made a perfect margarita, and we made the antidote.
And are those recipes on your website?
Yes, they are.
Okay,
With
you'll
many more.
definitely want to. I'm not a big margarita person because it's too sour or it makes me pucker. That was completely smooth. And then the drink, that had whiskey in it, which you also have one called a new fashion instead of an old fashioned, which is cute as well. So please take a look at the recipes, see all that you can do with olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette. It's incredible. And Debrah, thank you so much. Debrah Oliver.
Thank you so much.
With Olivino Tasting Bar. How
Yeah.
perfect is that? Thank you for spending some time with us.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we're going to meet someone else here at Streets of St. Charles. And do we have Kayla Reagan here? Yes, Kayla's here, and she is with Mod. I have quite a few things in my closet. If you look my name up,
Yes,
I'm
she does.
sure I'm customer of the year. I bought
love to hear
every
that.
single piece for our honeymoon, I think, at Mod
You
that we
did.
went. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that I did. There was several bags that I brought home with me. And
Mod was quite represented over in Europe.
I do get asked if where some, they'll say, oh, where do you get your clothes, whatever. I'm like, I love boutiques, and Mod is one of my favorites. So thank you
Great.
for
Well,
taking
thank you
some
for
time.
sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have Mod. You have how many stores?
So we have 6 locations now.
Okay.
We're all the way from like O'Fallon, Missouri, all the way over to Shiloh and Edwardsville, Illinois. So
I've missed that one, but I've
yes,
probably
those
been
are
in
our
all the
newest
rest.
stores. Yep.
So Shiloh's trending, huh? They're trending out there. So I grew up in O'Fallon, Illinois, which is like right next
yeah,
to
you're right
Shiloh.
around the
Yeah.
corner. Yep.
Yep.
So 6 stores?
Yes, 6
Okay.
locations. Then we have our website as well, modontrend.com.
So how do you decide? I mean, obviously, how do you decide what's trendy and what should you have at your store? Your age group is what, do you think? I mean, I'm way up there, so.
No, so we have something honestly for everyone. We have girls in middle school that come in with their mom, and both of them shop with us.
Yes, I was just
So-
in with my daughter, and we were both shopping.
Exactly. So we definitely have something for everyone, which is so great, especially like our jewelry pieces with Mother's Day coming up. We have so many great pieces where you can come in and get yourself an outfit and get your mom an outfit and some gifts for her as well.
I like that whole thing about get your mom something too.
You're like,
That's
yeah, don't
perfect.
forget
Are you
it.
listening? Everybody should do that. So how do you pick the trends and know what's in and what people are going to like?
Yeah, so our buying team does an amazing job. We go to market multiple times a year, so we're always up on what's trending, what are they showing at market, what are other boutiques buying, what's going on. And a lot of times, being in the Midwest, we don't see the more trend-forward
We're a
pieces.
little bit late.
Yeah, we're always just a little bit late.
Us conservatives.
So, exactly. So you kind of see it on the West Coast and the East Coast first, and then usually the next season we start
It's out
to
of
introduce
style there,
that.
and then we and then we get it. That's
Exactly.
okay.
So we're always just a little bit behind, but our buying team does an amazing job of knowing when the time is right to introduce those trends.
One thing I have to say too, you all are very affordable.
Thank you.
I mean,
yes.
you don't go in there and you find that shirt that you like or that sweater, and then you're like, ooh, take a breath. Should I get this or not? It's usually like, yep, I'll take that and that because, I'm
Yes.
going to get 2 items for what maybe one might cost somewhere
Absolutely,
else.
especially for those more unique trend pieces, you expect to pick it up and the tag to be well over $100.
Yeah.
Not in our store.
Right.
So it's definitely somewhere where you can stock up on those basic pieces. You can still get those trend forward items, and you don't have to, give them a kidney when you check out.
Exactly. So if people wanted to find out more about Mod, that's MOD, how would they be able to go on there and see new items, or how do they keep track of what's trendy and what you have new in?
Yeah, so we are very active on our social media platforms. You can follow us on Instagram. It's at ModOnTrend. We also are posting on our Facebook all the time, and we have our website, modontrend.com. So we're always posting our new arrivals in those places first. And I mean, they're constantly coming in. We get new shipments 2 to 3 times a week. So there's always something new to see. If you visited Mod last week, come in again, because honestly, we
It's true.
always get stuff that's new. And when we get those pieces, like I said before, they are more unique pieces. We're only getting 1 or 2 size runs of each item. So that means when they come in, we have 1 small, 1 medium, and 1 large. And when they're gone, they're gone.
They're gone.
Yep, so you're really not going to see a lot of other people wearing the same item as you.
That's so important. Even with a guy, it's important.
It is. You don't want to walk into a room and
with
have the
this
same thing
With
on.
this guy, I sees my chick in a guy's body all the time. With this guy, it's important. He likes to be unique.
Nobody wants to show up and then you look and then somebody's got the same outfit on. It's like,
Exactly. I know my husband's the same way.
Right.
You go somewhere and 3 of the guys are wearing a black button down, and he's like, "What the
So
heck?"
you're married to a chick too in a guy's body.
we went to an event and I go, I think I'm going to wear this tie. And I thought, no, I'm going to switch it. I'm glad I did, because there was a guy who had the same exact tie on as I did at the event.
Exactly.
Well, I have to say, we just went to the gala for the Boys and Girls Club, and I bought my dress at the store. I was in there looking for something else, and you had this long pleated dress with multiple colors. It looked like a
kind of a bluish peachy.
Kind of an ombre.
Purpley at-
I know
yes,
which
at the
one you
bottom.
got. It's gorgeous.
And there was no one else in it because it would have really stood out if someone else was wearing it. And I got so many compliments on it.
Good. I'm so
and I
glad
bought
to
it
hear
there,
that.
and it didn't break the bank or anything. So yeah, you really do. You have a little bit of everything. If you haven't been to Mod Boutique, I always say boutique. Do you say Mod Boutique or do you say Mod Store? What do you say?
Yes, so we're Mod on Trend.
Mod on Trend.
The reason being
It's
because,
my boutique.
you know, Mod Pizza has become very popular in
Oh
our
my
area too,
gosh.
and we don't want anyone getting confused.
It's
so we are Mod on
true.
Trend.
I say I'm meeting my
Ever
daughter at
anybody
Mod.
come in and say, I was here to buy pizza?
We have a lot of husbands that make that joke when
They-
they're in shopping with their wives.
That they thought they were getting pizza?
Yeah, they're like, what the heck? Is the pizza in back? No?
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much. It's Kayla, and let me say the right name, Kayla Reagan
Yep.
from Mod on Trend. See,
Correct.
it's my name and my store, Mod Boutique, so I'm saying it all wrong, but Mod on Trend. Thank you for coming by and talking about what you have. And like Kayla said, if you come in one day or 1 week and there maybe is something that's not there for you, be sure to come in the next week because it's always changing. But I seriously doubt that you're going to go in and not be able to go home with something. So Maddie went over and took photos. Did you eye up a bunch of things while you were in there?
I may have seen her pulling a couple things
Full
out.
of things looking at it? Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Again, we're here at Streets of St. Charles. We are in your city, in St. Charles as well. And if you haven't been out to Streets of St. Charles, you're missing out on all the great things. So we are actually going to meet another person from Streets of St. Charles, which is the Buzzed Bull Creamery. I hope I said that correctly. So we'll be looking forward to them opening up, and then I won't be able to fit in the clothes that you all carry. So unless you have a larger size, then I'll be good to go. So
Too funny.
Thank you so much
for having
Appreciate
me.
all you do.
Of course.
So then let's see.
I'm glad you said it right because you have Buzz Creamery and it's Buzz
But I
Bowl.
wrote it correctly. I did go
Buzz
back
Bowl,
and
yeah.
write it correctly. So Ellen Brazelton, did I say that correctly? Brazelton. All right. Well, so nice to meet you. Thank you for coming in.
I'm very excited to be here.
Yes. So is this your store, Ellen, that you're opening it
Yes.
up? That's fantastic. So we did, you'll have to make sure you take, gosh, I work so ahead with the magazines, but I'm pretty sure it's this issue. So make sure
Okay.
you take one of those with you because we actually put the Buzz Bull Creamery in there as a, I don't know if it's in our city scene, I think. So we do a couple segments in our magazine inclusions where it might be Business Monthly, something, maybe there's a new president or whatever it is, city scene, things that are opening or galas or whatever, talking about what's happening in your city. And you all are opening, so we put that in there. So you'll have to
so
make sure and
excited.
take one of those with you. So how did this happen? Where does this come from? Buzzed, obviously, we know where the word buzzed comes from. Bull Creamery, tell us where this comes from.
Sure. So Buzz Bull Creamery is actually a franchise.
Okay.
My family and I were on vacation last summer in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and we saw one. And my husband says, "Does that say alcoholic ice cream? We've got to check this place out." So we went in. We both got the honey bourbon pecan Buzz.
That sounds
bourbon.
good.
And we really liked the product. We got to talk to the owner some, and he told us a little bit how he got started. So I thought, when we get back, I'll just give the corporate team a call and see where it goes. And here we are. So there are currently 10 Buzz Bull locations throughout the country. This will be number 11.
You're
and
one of 11.
yes, I thought I was going to break into the top 10, but
it's always good to be one of the first.
Oh my gosh, you're in the
Yes.
forefront of the beginning of a huge
absolutely.
success.
We are the first in Missouri, so first kind of this far west from Ohio. So.
And thank you. Here again, coming to Missouri, first one, and where is she at? She's in St.
Streets of
Charles.
St. Charles, that's right.
Fantastic. So you and your husband running together? Are you running this by yourself?
I'm running it by myself.
Okay. So he's got his own thing that he's doing, and you're
Yes.
going to be here dipping in the samples.
Correct.
So what are some of the flavors that we'll look forward to having? Obviously,
First, explain Buzz
Yes.
Bowl Creamery.
Sure.
What is it? What is it? Because we hear it's something different than
yeah,
we've ever
and
seen.
Alyssa started to explain it. We said, maybe we should wait.
So we are premium ice cream and milkshakes. What makes us different
There you go,
is that
milkshake.
yes,
There we go.
we make everything fresh in store. So we flash freeze everything made to order with liquid nitrogen. So we will have a big 3,000 liter tank that will be kind of the mainstay of our store. And when you come in and order, you say, I want the honey bourbon pecan, no pecans. Then we can make and tailor everything to exactly how you want it. It's made fresh there just for you. So that is what makes us different. Due to the liquid nitrogen, we're able to make a really premium, super creamy product. So it's unlike any ice cream or milkshake that you've had due to that creaminess. And then, of course, we add the buzz.
And you got to be careful with liquid nitrogen, don't you?
You do.
Way to bring up the negative part there, Gordon.
No, I have a great liquid nitrogen
Don't you have to use the restroom or something?
You're probably
If
safer
it's talking about exploding,
using.
please don't bring it up and talk about it.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Hot frying grease is probably more dangerous than the liquid
Exactly.
nitrogen.
So what does it?
No, I meant that in a cool factor, not in a bad thing. I think it's cool. I think it's awesome.
So you see this like smoke come up and it freezes it
That's
instantly?
exactly it. Yep. So we add our ice cream base, and we truly have something for everybody. So you're talking about your clothes. We're full calorie, full flavor, but we do have vegan options available.
Who goes gets ice cream and wants a vegan option?
You know, we're
because
catering to the market. There
Yeah,
are people
exactly.
watching
And-
their diet a little.
or
so.
stomach, sometimes your stomach can't quite tolerate certain things, so it helps.
You
you.
just want to
I'm bad.
taste
I'll be
without the
quiet.
calories.
I know.
It's
I'm
ice
sure you have
cream.
something to do, don't you?
It's ice cream.
This is Ellen and this is our time.
Oh, no, you caught me with ice cream,
No,
so I'm good.
he is an ice cream monster. I mean,
Okay.
he just loves and craves. Did you hear him? Loves and craves ice cream. It's unbelievable. So he will be one of your best customers, that's
I'm
for
glad.
sure. And when you talk about this creamy texture, it's obviously something different than when you're scooping out. Is it different than custard? Different than gelato? It just has
Yes.
its own unique.
Correct. Gelato would probably be the closest, just because when you think of gelato, you do get kind of that creamy
Creamy?
Italian flavor
Love gelato.
and that texture. So that's probably closest, but definitely not like, when you go to Schnucks and buy a pint and scoop it right out there. So the liquid nitrogen makes really, really small ice particles, and that's how we're able to achieve that creaminess.
Okay. Now, will you be able to, obviously you can go and order what you want, like you said, but you also will have where you could buy containers if you want to take home and enjoy it home?
Yes, we are hoping to roll out to-go pints. So we still need to, that might not be available as soon as we open, but
Sure.
it's definitely on the radar.
So you have to show an ID to get the buzz,
Yes.
I guess, creamy. We ask for ours.
No way you're over 21. Absolutely
Can
not.
you drive home after 2 ice creams?
So it's funny you mentioned that.
No, and the officer-
I've only had ice cream.
Exactly. The police officer says, have you been drinking? Because that's the first thing they ask, right? And like, no.
So
But I was eating ice cream.
Yeah, our small ice creams do have 2 ounces of alcohol, so 5% ABV. It's kind of like drinking a beer. So you can add as many shots as you want, but it's just like a mixed drink. If you add too much alcohol, you don't taste that mixer anymore. It just tastes like alcohol. It's the same with the ice cream. So the flavors that we've crafted, we found that balance of how much alcohol to add, which alcohol tastes best and best incorporates with the flavors. So everything is offered buzzed and non-buzzed, so we're totally kid-friendly. You can bring your son, you can bring your grandma, or you can come for a happy hour. So we're truly for everybody.
Sounds fantastic. And, the food issue is our October issue. So we're going to have to be talking about Bull Creamery, I'm sure, and all the great olive oils that are in here. So it'll be fun.
Yes.
So tell me, when are the doors going to open? Quit teasing us.
You think I'm teasing? No.
Yes.
So you heard it here first. We
Yes.
are targeting May 12th.
Oh, that's
so
right around
just
the corner.
after Mother's Day, yes. So we
Perfect.
are working very hard to get everything up and open. I've already started hiring. So we've got the majority of things we need. That's our target date.
Can you order gift certificates online, like before you're open, or do you have to wait till you're open?
You will be able to order before open. We'll be available on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, all of those
That'd be
things
a great
too.
Mother's Day gift.
It would be, yes. That's a great idea. I'm going to have to keep that in the back of my head. So
Just call me if I have any more ideas.
I have a quick question because
Yeah.
you said that about DoorDash, so you want to keep it cold. So does liquid nitrogen keep it colder longer?
Not necessarily longer, but when we do order to go, then we freeze everything a little bit harder, understanding that, it might melt a little bit along the way. So we're going to freeze it a little more and then put it in the freezer until it's picked up. That way, by the time it gets to the customer, it's still almost like they just ordered ordered it in store.
And did you mention, I don't know if I heard you, did you mention how many flavors you're going to have?
We have 30 flavors available.
Almost as many
However,
olive oils.
we have so many different mix-ins. The possibilities are truly endless. So you could come in and just get plain vanilla and vodka, or you can get vanilla with gummy worms and strawberry vodka and rainbow sprinkles, or whatever floats your boat.
Somebody comes in, I just don't want the ice cream, just give me the vodka.
Straight. Well, thank you so much. And that's Ellen Brazelton,
Yes.
right? Thank you so much for spending some time talking
Can't
about your
wait to
new
try
business
it.
that you're opening. We're so proud to have you here and adding to all the great things that Streets of St. Charles has to offer. So we will be in with a big smile on our face.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you both.
Wow, nice to meet you. Wow, what a great, I mean, think all the fun things people don't realize that are out there and that are in your city.
I know.
And they are all right here at Streets of St. Charles. And one of the great things on the cover of our magazine, of course, is Miss Augusta. So in your city of St. Charles, at the new Klondike Dock, I believe is what they're calling it there in St. Charles,
Right.
is where Miss Augusta is parked. But you actually can go out on dinner cruises. You can just go and take a ride. It actually goes down the river. You can have cocktails. There's
parties.
Yeah, you can have private parties. You can have your wedding. There's all kinds of things there. And I would say that that's a fun pick for us. We try to try new things and enjoy things that are in your city. And I would say Miss Augusta is a really cool thing. As you can tell, we put it on all three covers of the magazine, because people don't even believe how many people said, wow, that's here. I didn't know
Didn't even know it
that we
was
had
here.
that boat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they came over, the Hoffman family, which of course is going crazy there with the wineries. And they have a boat in Naples, Florida, and then they brought a boat here, so which is super cool. What did you come home the other day in the morning with?
I came home with, so on Easter, Kelley always says, she'll get up on Sunday morning, and the one thing that she always tells me, she goes, oh my gosh, I wish I could just have a white icing Long John.
I wish. That doesn't mean I should eat it, though.
So I got up at like 5 o'clock, went to Donut King, and got white iced
Dozen
Long
donuts.
Johns. And I'm sneaking in, and she never wakes up early. And of course, this morning she wakes up
Where
early.
the heck is he?
I'm like putting him on the counter, and she doesn't see me, but she sees the front door wide open.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, what's the front door doing wide open? I'm like, yeah, I'm busted.
The Easter
Okay.
Bunny came
Here,
through
a
and got
Long John.
caught. Yeah. So
Donut King.
really great donuts.
They are good.
I mean, if you look for a place, not everyone has great donuts. Melt in your mouth kind of
And
donuts.
what's the key factor? When you walk into a place, it should smell like donuts.
You gotta smell it. Kind of like
Yes.
their brownies baking in here at the olive
Absolutely.
oil store, right? They did it. So we're gonna have fun next month. We want to let you know we are actually going to be in Clayton at Parties in the Park, which will be May 11th, I think it is. May 11th. He can't stand when my computer goes off. I'm not even looking
I
at
just
it.
didn't even know if you needed it.
I don't know if I do or not. But we'll be there May 11th at Parties in the Park and take you into Clayton, take you into their city. And actually the Mayor Michelle, is going to be coming by and saying hello to us as well. And we'll find out about that city. So who knows where we'll be next. We'll be back to St. Charles, I'm sure, again, and talk about different things that are going on. And because I think in September we're going to be at the Mosaic Art Festival, which will be on Main Street, St. Charles. I think we'll be at the Spirit of
St. Louis
Air Show in June. So, we're going to take you around to different things, have some fun with us, meet some great new people like you did here today. We want to thank Debrah, which she goes by Debbie Baker-Oliver, for hosting our show here in the Olivino Tasting Bar, which is in, again, Streets of St. Charles. And if you haven't been here, you can spend hours here shopping, going out to eat, finding your favorite retail store, shopping at the Mod, and then ending it with dessert, of course, at the Buzzed Bull Creamery. So Tim Glover with Clipchat Productions, thank you so much for bringing our show to life so that other people can watch it again and again. And then also we want to thank Maddie Manheimer for taking beautiful photos so that we have these memories of where we are in your city. So I am Kelley Lamb.
And I'm Gordon Montgomery. You can catch us once again on Spotify and all of the podcasts.
Yeah.
Anything that has a podcast, you can catch us there.
Yeah.
And on
And if you
YouTube.
have an idea, let us know. But our main goal is to allow you to be able to meet things that are in your city. Even if you don't live here, it might want to give you the opportunity to check it out and come visit. So until the next In Your City show, peace.
Peace.